What's going on, everybody? This is your boy, the Scripture Plug.Albert. Today, we're getting to another fire video reaction from Dr. J. Smith and also Alpha D as they break down some more historical inaccuracies that are in the Quran. How did Allah not know that Mary, the mother of Jesus, was 1400 years younger than Aaron, even though they trying to say that they bros and sis? That's wild. That's crazy. Let's get into it. Let's see if they talking the truth. If you're a Muslim, you can try to refute this in the comments. I would like to know what it is that you believe is true. Let's get into it. Let's learn something.
Different sectarian groups, and they're hearing different stories. Well, they're writing these down. How can illiterate people write them down? I don't know. Nonetheless, they're writing down, but they're writing this part from here, this part from here, and this from other groups, and they're not thinking through that they're actually writing contradictory material down.
Throwing spaghetti at the wall.
Case in point are what we see in chapter 19, chapter 66, and chapter 20 of the Quran. So I'm going to put up the slide there. Let's see the slide right there. And these are references to Mary, the mother of Jesus. And you see in every case, a lot of times it's Isa ibn Maryam, the son of Mary. But this same Mary, according to chapter 19, verse 28, it refers to her. It says, "Oh Mary, you have certainly done a thing unprecedented, O sister of Aaron."
Now let's stop it right there real quick because we got to talk about it. There's the hadith that's talking about, when somebody approached, the prophet and was like, "Hey, yo, y'all got this wrong." And he was like, what happened was they're just talking about lineage. I want anybody that's a Muslim to show me where any lineage of descendants in the Bible, the Injil, Torah, wherever you want to go, extra biblical text, that the descendants are called sister of or brother of, as opposed to son of and daughter of. Because historically, that's how they actually spoke. They spoke of, descendants of son, daughter of. So Father Abraham has many sons, and many sons have Father Abraham. That's a song that we used to sing in Sunday school. Why? Because we are descendants of Abraham. Therefore, we are sons of. Not that he actually birthed us, but descendants. We don't sing, "Brother Abraham had many brothers." We don't do that because historically that is a horrible claim. But that's what they tried to trick y'all with, and that's what y'all try to run with. So, can y'all show me anywhere in the Torah or the Injil where it is sister of or brother of when it's talking about a descendant? Now, what you will find is you'll see brother of when it comes to people in certain tribes. So you'll see like Lot, for example, and Abraham being brothers of, even though they're actually relatives in like a nephew-uncle relationship. But guess what? They're not generations apart. They are what you would call still contemporaries in that they are around at the same time. So yeah, you could say brother of, just like, if you take the claim of Jesus having his brothers and sisters when it comes to James and everybody else, doesn't mean that, they're now all of a sudden going to be called sister of or son of Jesus. Not going to happen. So help your boy out. Help us understand why Allah got that wrong. Let's get back into the video.
Mother of Jesus, talking to her, she is the sister of Aaron. Well, immediately red flags go up. Why do red flags go up when you hear that?
Because it seems to me that the Quran made a massive error here in assuming that Maryam, that's how we say in Arabic the word for Mary, Maryam, the mother of Jesus, to be the sister of Aaron and Moses.
Okay, so Aaron is the brother of Moses. Right. That's the problem. We know this because Aaron was like the spokesman for Moses. Aaron was sent along with Moses into Egypt to bring back the Israelites. And so we know Aaron very well. In chapter 66, it makes it even more difficult. In verse 12, it says, "O Miriam," which is the word you're giving to, "the daughter of Imran, who guarded her chastity." What's wrong with that?
Daughter of Imran now, huh? Okay, so sisters. So that's where they actually get it wrong. Because if you look at any of the genealogies, that's not there. That is not there. And what's also crazy is that they try to say, I'm going back to the Aaron thing. They love to say, sister of Aaron, that's because she's from her lineage. Nah, Mary's from the line of Judah. She's the descendant of David. So that's even wrong. And what the Muslims will try to say is, oh, but if you look, Elizabeth and her cousins, and Elizabeth is from that line, doesn't mean that the line of Mary's father is not from, which is where they do the genealogies, Judah, because that's where he's from. So, that's tough. Just say what it is, man. Y'all got it wrong. Abrogate it. Allah was tripping this day. Maybe he had one too many mimosas. Who knows? He's probably, just drifting off, thinking about how he can, do nothing but right-handed layups. That's probably what he was doing. And he forgot. He just kind of had a slip of the tongue when he was speaking out these different surahs in his eternal kitab or whatever it is that he has. But let's get back to the video. I'm going to try my best not to be such a jerk anymore, because this is really supposed to be for learning and also correction, so Muslims can actually know that they're following a jacked up book.
Who is this Imran? Well, isn't that Amram from the Old Testament?
Yeah. Chapter 3 basically is named as the Al-Imran, the family of Imran, which is the family of Mary. That's the claim.
We know who Imran is. That's the Hebrew Imran. Imran, the same word.
Mhm.
Imran is the father of both Moses and Aaron,
Yep.
two brothers. Let's continue on. Chapter 20, verse 30 says, Aaron, Moses, my brother. Moses is speaking, Aaron, my brother. So it's very clear that this Aaron is the brother of Moses. It's not another Aaron from the New Testament time who has a sister.
Hold on now. So now is this saying that Moses is now a descendant of Aaron? Is that what that's saying? Is that the context? Or do y'all know it as what it says it is? The fact that Aaron is for sure Moses' brother. And that's how that language was used back then. Brother, that's my guy. We're here together. We're rocking. We can dap up all that. Mary ain't high-fiving Aaron. It's not happening because she's well over 1,000 years younger. So, sister of, it's not adding up, y'all. It's not adding up. But I want to know, for those Muslims out there that actually see how wrong this is, it actually is not going for how goofy this particular argument of when it comes to descendant. What do you feel? How do you feel when you find out that things about your book are woefully wrong when your book is the book that makes the claims that there's no errors in it, that it's the unchanging word of Allah, but yet he can't even get history right? That's wild. That is wild. Let's get back to the video.
Named Miriam. Now, we know in the story in the Old Testament that this is true. We do have Aaron, who is the brother of Moses. That's well known. And they both have a sister named Miriam.
Mhm.
All three are from Imran, who
Yeah.
is the Imran that we see in Arabic.
Y'all see
Got
it?
the wrong Mary.
Right there.
Whoever put this Quran together, maybe because they were oral, they didn't think it through. They were confusing the two Marys, one from the time of 1400 BC and the other from the 1st century AD. Well, there's 1400 years between them. All three are the children of Imran. In Exodus chapter 6, verse 20, it says that right there in the Bible. Now, Muslims have tried to come back and they say, well, no, this is a form of, she is in the line of Mary, that this Mary, the mother of Jesus, is in the line of the Levites, who are the Miriam of the Old Testament. The difficulty with that, and that Imran would be her father. That's not the case. And you need to go to Luke chapter 3. When you go to Luke chapter 3, we see who the father of Mary is. Remember, there are two genealogical lists, one in the 1st chapter of Matthew and the other one in Luke, the 3rd chapter of Luke in the New Testament. And they're completely different genealogical lists. Many people have always brought that up.
Bet money the Muslims that make it up to this point are going to be like, oh, but what about that? And not going to care nothing about what's going on right now, about Allah not getting history right. They're going to just jump on anything. They're going to grasp at these straws. That's what's going to happen. Bet money.
Muslims have brought that up. You have a contradiction here. How can you have how can you have a genealogical list that starts in Matthew 1 through Joseph, whose father is Jacob, all the way up to David, through Solomon in Matthew 1, and in Luke 3, you have Heli, who they thought, it says who they thought was the father of Joseph. This is just a supposition there. It's not Joseph. This is Luke is saying that you are, because he's writing to the disciples, who you thought was the father of Joseph, but you know all who Heli is, not Joseph, who goes all the way up through Nathan to David. So you have two different genealogies with two different sets of people. One goes through Nathan to David, the other goes to Solomon to David. obviously we're talking about two different people. One would be Jacob on the one side, the father of Joseph. The other is Heli on their side, the father of Mary. Absolutely two completely different lists. So Imran cannot be Mary's father. Luke says who the father is, and all the disciples do. It's Heli. So you can't get around that. You've got to look and see what the New Testament is saying on that case. Now, the difficulty is you have 1,400 years between them, unless Mary lived for 1,400 years. I think this is nothing more than another glaring historical anachronism. Do you want to come back on this?
No, I mean, it's very clear, and I think everybody knows about this argument by now because there are many articles that were written about this.
Facts. So that was Dr. J. Smith and Brother Alpha D doing their thing, showing another historical error from the Quran, the perfect, eternal word, unchanging, uncreated word of Allah, getting it wrong again, and also how that the scholars and everybody else from Islam have to try to bury and cover up what was said because so many different writers and people who don't know the scriptures, who don't know what they're talking about, who just pick and choose these different things that they hear and put it together, and you get these stories in the Quran that are like Frankenstein. Some of these things ain't supposed to be there. You got dead flesh here, you got a foot here, you got a toe right here, and you got an eyeball for a nose. It really don't make sense. It really don't add up, but hey, that's the Quran for you. With that being said, if you made it to this point, God bless you. I appreciate you so very much. Like, share, subscribe to Vibe Out with your boy. That's what the ticker says. You can also hit that noti bell, be notified anytime that I drop with these pre-recorded reactions. Also do lives where people come on and talk about Jesus being God or even the Islamic dilemma, or whatever it is that we want to talk about that day. I love sharing the scriptures. I love sharing the truth. And hopefully the Muslim folks can actually realize that they're living a falsehood. And while they have an opportunity, because we all got opportunity right now, we're all still breathing. We could come to know the true God who wants to have a relationship with you and I, the true God who bore our sins on the cross so that we could be saved from our iniquities, from our sins, because we can't do it ourselves. But that's how much God loves us, that he came down and did it for us. So, man, God bless y'all. I'll catch y'all next time. I'm out.